Welcome to the NewsHour. It is a pivotal moment in Ukraine. Kyiv announced today it'll hold another round of peace talks with Russia on Wednesday, the first such meeting in 7 weeks.
And NATO leaders met today to try and answer Ukraine's desperate call for more weapons, as Moscow launched one of its largest ever aerial assaults. Here's Nick Schifrin with more.
In Ukraine's capital today, damage, destruction, and more death. It's days like this where nowhere feels safe. Not the Kyiv apartment building hit by a Russian drone, a school kid's bedroom inside burnt black. Not the nearby kindergarten engulfed in flames. Not the bomb shelter, otherwise known as the Metro, where a drone hit at the entrance and filled the tunnel built to withstand nuclear blasts with smoke. The Metro usually where Ukrainians spend the night to protect their children. But these days, there is precious little protection. 46-year-old Vadim Volkov survived where his apartment did not.
I can't even describe the emotions I had when the whole apartment was destroyed. I was in shock. I'm not the only one. There are so many people who have lost their homes.
Lost their homes thanks largely to the nightly screaming across the sky that leads to the inevitable. Drone strikes. Overnight, Ukraine says Russia launched more than 420. The UN says Russia last month fired 10 times the number of drones than it did 1 year ago. Overnight, Russia also launched 24 missiles. This is exactly the kind of damage that Europe pledged today to try and prevent in a virtual meeting chaired by the UK and German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius.
Ukraine will continue to successfully defy Putin's war machine and will weaken it a little more every day. It is our duty, colleagues, and our obligation to actively support our Ukrainian friends in this regard.
Germany is pledging to send Ukraine 5 additional American-made Patriot air defense batteries. They're scarce, so the U.S. has agreed to prioritize Patriot deliveries to Germany and slow down deliveries to other countries. That's only possible thanks to last week's policy reversal.
We're going to make top-of-the-line weapons, and they'll be sent to NATO.
President Trump allowing Europe to buy Ukraine weapons and giving Moscow a deadline.
We're very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Tariffs at about 100%.
A threat which left Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov seemingly unfazed.
Russia is prepared to move swiftly. For us, the main thing is to achieve our objectives. They are clear, obvious, and unchanging.
Unchanging and maximalist. No NATO membership for Ukraine. International recognition of Russian control of 5 Ukrainian regions, including those not fully occupied. Caps on the size of Ukraine's military and its Western support, and removal of U.S. troops from Eastern Europe. It's clear Russia feels it's winning. Since the start of the year, despite massive losses, Russia has captured nearly 1,500 square miles, roughly the size of Rhode Island. Its most recent advances in Ukraine's northeast in the region of Sumy.
And Nick Schifrin joins us now for more. Nick, so the key question here is how quickly can European weapons get to Ukraine?
That is the key question, Amna. And the answer, U.S. and European officials tell me, depend on a few variables. Number one, how vulnerable are European countries willing to make themselves in order to send their own weapons, especially air defense, to Ukraine? Number two, how much money is Europe willing to spend? $10 to $20 billion, perhaps that much money. And three, how much weapons is the U.S. willing to spend? And that, of course, is a trade-off. The more weapons sent to Ukraine, perhaps the fewer weapons available in the Middle East and the Pacific. Meanwhile, as we saw, Russia is trying to overwhelm Ukraine with drones. And Amna, that is a challenge that Patriots, which are designed for missiles, that Patriots cannot really solve. And frankly, Ukraine is increasingly struggled to answer.
Nick Schifrin, thank you as always.
Thank you.